Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be. And welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another edition of the Raw on Netflix review. Now, no, thinking this is not Show Squared. This is not normal show. This is the Raw review returned, I guess, kind of. The last time I did one of these was for the first edition of Raw on Netflix with Penciled in Nikki. And of course, since then, I've not really covered Raw because I've not really watched it, in all honesty. But I thought for this episode here, I'd give this a go for the Raw after Mania. But I would not do it alone. But firstly, I'm Dan, DP, or as you all say, D3Z, yeah! And I am not joined alone for this episode. I am joined by someone who's brand new channel, someone who I believe has actually watched the videos, so it's confirmed we do have a viewer. But they are here tonight. I am joined by the one, the only, BJHBowman. Bowman, how are you?
Hello, everybody. I'm doing okay. I'm fine. I'm glad to be on the show. I have been watching Raw for the past few months, unfortunately, but I am here talking about the Raw after Netflix show. We'll talk about it later, but I'm very glad to just be here talking with you, man. It's been so long since but this might be the first time we've sat down and actually talked in a chat. So I'm glad we're going to be talking about wrestling on top of that. So
Yeah,
I'm happy
absolutely.
to be here.
Absolutely, and it's good to have you here, actually, because for those who don't know, like, I've known you for, how long has it been? Like, what, 5 years,
Oh
maybe?
my God, dude. Yeah. LLR, like before the pandemic has
Yeah,
to be,
it has to
right?
be before then. Absolutely. Because
Yeah.
you were around during the days I had my faction and stuff, so absolutely you would have known me then.
Yeah. Mad Dog Club, friggin' Cassius Goon. Only like two other people are going to get that reference watching this video, but that's okay.
That's absolutely fine. And it's probably the best way to go forward thinking about that, to be honest.
Yeah. Just mentions those names. All right, we're moving on.
Let's move on.
Yeah, yeah.
Sweep under the carpet, you know?
Mm-hmm. Of course.
But we are here to discuss Monday Night Raw on Netflix, the Raw After Mania review. This is for the 21st of April 2025. And what was, in your opinion, the vibe of Raw going into this show?
The vibe of Raw. Well, after watching both nights of Mania, actually, I didn't watch I watched the end of night two. Watching night one fully, and then I had Easter, so I couldn't watch all of night two, and then watching the main event with all that Travis Scott, John Cena stuff. It was just like what could possibly happen? Because I came into it thinking, well, WWE can't. Are they going to bring out Travis Scott to kick off the show? Like that'd be kind of ridiculous. And then as we'll talk about in a bit, Cena opened up, and yeah, I just kind of didn't know what to expect. I just kind of think WWE might have just been hitting panic buttons leading up to the show, and then the show actually happened the way it did. So I'm thinking, like, how many panic buttons do they have left?
Absolutely, yeah. Night one of Mania, as we all know, happened. Night two, I think the other point is night one was a good, say, a bad, not a bad show, but a disappointing show with a very good main event. And then
It was fine overall, yeah.
night two was a much better pay per view, except for the main event.
People have told me to go back and watch matches on night two, and I haven't had time yet, but like I'd like to, just because the only match I watched was the main event, so I had the vibe of like, wow, this night sucks.
Honestly, that's the only match that does suck, in my opinion, on that show.
Yeah,
The rest of it, what's anything like ruled or anything, but like everything is watchable except for the main event. So,
yeah.
one thing I will recommend actually is the Fatal Four Way for the IC title. That is, in my opinion, match of the night.
Oh, nice. I've seen like the clip of like Dominic running down to the ring after everything, and holding up the title, even though he probably didn't mean to do that, and everyone being like, "Yes, finally, Dominic."
I'm not
So
gonna
yeah,
lie,
that was fun.
I did mark out. I did scream a little. I was proud for my guy.
Yes.
But we are here to discuss the Raw after Mania, not Mania itself. Opted to not do Mania this year. You know, everyone's doing it, so why bother? Be another
We
sheep. You know,
we
like
know what happened.
yeah, we all know what happened. Like you can go watch another podcast and their opinion on it, because ultimately my opinion is not going to be much different from anyone else's. But here we are on Raw after Mania. So we are officially out of Mania 41, and we've seen a lot of stuff. But as you know, we're not here to discuss that. We're here to discuss what happened following that. So let's get into it. The first thing that we see post the recap of what happened at Mania are various stars making their way into the arena. We see Paul Heyman turn up in a car with Seth Rollins. We see Liv Valkyria and Becky Lynch. We see Dominic Mysterio along with his compatriots of Judgment Day minus Finn Balor. And we also see the new men's WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Jey Uso. The person that we don't see, however, is the new Undisputed WWE Champion. Because he's here right now. It's John Cena. 17-time world champion, officially setting the record, taking it from... Well, we know who took it from. He ain't got to say his name. Cena is here. We get a massive pyro, and Cena holds the title up high, scowl on his face, looking almost dead to the world. Cena calls in the ring announcer and hands a note to him to read aloud, and the note says that the ring announcer of Cena was disrespectful. So he reads a new announcement that is more to Cena's standard, referring to Cena as the greatest of all time, and the never seen 17, gracing Las Vegas with his presence for the final time, the last real champion, John Cena. Which, to be fair, kind of has a better ring to it.
Never Seen 17 is a bar. But then
Is.
again, you remember John Cena used to be a rapper as his gimmick, so you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, yeah, oh, right. He knows how to do that.
Second nature, you could call it.
Yeah.
So then the announcer leaves, and then Cena demands a microphone, which has the announcer then scurrying back to give him the microphone. Which I thought, again, little touches. You know, this is a great switch for Cena. Like, just this dick. You know? Like,
Yeah, he is.
So Cena then goes on to call out the fans for trying to bully him on Friday, and then because he has a title now and they cheer him, that he should forgive him. That's not how a functional relationship works. He says that everyone owes an apology, but that nobody has the courage to actually do it. He then calls out the crowd for attempting to hijack the show, to which he then calls them soft. And then the crowd erupt into a chant saying, "We are sorry," with a small percentage of people replying, "No, we're not." He calls them the sorriest lowlifes he's ever seen. He says that he's taken the fans' best shot and that he'd always come back. So what makes the Vegas crowd so special to be the ones to think they can do it? They mean nothing to Cena, and the only thing that matters to anyone is something on the Titan he points to. A screen that says 36 dates. And then he begins to count down the appearances he's made on Raw and on SmackDown, including the EU shows, the show before Chamber, show before Mania, and it all culminates to a total of 27 dates left, which he then emphasizes are not matches, they're appearances. He says that the people say he can't wrestle, so he won't. He'll just do what he's doing now, just appearing on screen, and that will count towards one of those dates. And when that counter hits 0, the professional wrestling timeline stops cold, because he claims that the world title held by Bruno Sammartino, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk, among others, will be going home with him, because he is the last real champion. Getting the title was the hard part. Now comes the easy part, and the last chance they had to save themselves was Cody Rhodes. Cena then proceeds to call out the crowd, jeering him, and then cheering him, and then jeering him again for Cody over the weekend, which is why Cody was outshined, outclassed, and out wrestled, and flat out destroyed. Cena claims that there is no one with the strength, the speed, the wisdom, or the ruthless aggression of John Cena. He says that he's got a heart, however, and wants to do something nice for the fans, and tells them to get out of their phones as they want to remember this moment. He gets the title, holds it high, holds it high in the sky, basically saying to everyone, get a picture of me with a title. Little does knowledge, on the camera, we see a certain addition to the screen. Someone appears behind John Cena. Someone who has the second highest count of world titles in WWE among the active roster. Of course, WWE's own Randy Orton, who's preparing something for Cena. A little something called the RKO, which he then hits on Cena as soon as Cena turns around. Orton stands tall over a fallen Cena and holds the title up high, much to the crowd's delight. And a message has clearly been sent, as the crowd serenade the arena with Randy's entrance song. So I think we've got Cena's first title defense sorted, right?
Yeah, that's going to be Backlash, probably.
It makes the most sense. So what did you think of this entire opening promo from Cena? And then the subsequent Orton.
Yeah. Overall, I did see Cena's entrance at Mania where he came out with, nothing, and it was just the text of him, just the John Cena. I thought that was cool, but, when he was talking and, the subsequent promos beforehand saying that he's going to ruin wrestling, I just think, you watch New Japan, right? I just think, right. So there's this little faction called the House of Torture, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they specifically, their gimmick is screw professional wrestling. We're going to do whatever we can to hold the world title hostage. John Cena's just become the House of Torture. He's willing to throw away his wrestling legacy. Screw all of you people. I'm not going to put on a wrestling hold just because that's what you expect of me. And I think that gimmick of I'm gonna wrestle badly on purpose just sucks to me. I don't really want to see it, but people just think just because it's John Cena that it'll work. So the 27 dates, it's bold of them to announce how many dates specifically because people are gonna hold them to that. Where was John Cena? Okay, it was 6. It was actually 26 of it. For example, I was just impressed that he was able to get 26 days. I can't even get one. And yeah, the whole phone, take your phones out because Randy Orton's about to come out and he's gonna RKO me. That was pretty fun. It's very magical that WWE was able to get John Cena versus Randy Orton again in the big 2025, and people are actually going to be excited. It's not going to be 10 years ago, where they're oh my god, another John Cena Randy Orton match. So I'm glad that I'm glad that it's working, but the John Cena character, I don't care for it that much.
That's fair. Honestly, that's fair enough. Yeah, exactly as you said though, it's amazing that, in the year of 2025, we've got a Cena Raw match on the way, and people are actually excited for it, compared to, the years of 2009, 2008, 2010, where it was, constant Cena Raw pay-per-view main events. And people were like, oh my god, not again.
Yeah, all the diehard wrestling fans like us, we're the ones who have to be oh my god, another John Cena versus Randy Orton match, and then all the nostalgia-filled people who started watching wrestling in 2015 are oh my god, Cena versus Orton, such a historic rivalry, and then they're gonna see the Backlash match, and it's not gonna be that good, and they're gonna be what do you mean John Cena versus Randy Orton wasn't match of the year? What were you expecting? And then Travis Scott's gonna come out in the middle of it. Just watch.
Probably, yeah.
Randy Orton's gonna RKO Travis Scott. It's gonna happen, dude.
Yeah. Honestly, I want it to happen because I don't think Travis Scott should be anywhere near a wrestling ring.
Dude, when it was literally a scene out of WWE Universe mode in the 2K games when Travis Scott came out at WrestleMania. Why is he here? Who invited him here?
Oh my god, I didn't think of it like that. It absolutely is, isn't it? It's just the two of them
Yeah.
wrestling, and suddenly music plays, and everything stops. And like, look at the entrance ramp. What are they doing here? Like,
Cody should have just pressed X and like ran out of the ring and attacked him entrance ramp. But
can you imagine that? It sort of just pans out to a TV screen. It's like Cody playing a video game. It's like, what the fuck?
that's the animation that they do. Oh man, here comes Travis.
just like the Nintendo Wii game, where it's like, oh,
Yeah, dude, like press your luck or wheel fortune every time you get a whammy. Oh! I know exactly what animation you're talking about. And Pat Sajak, oh, better luck next time.
Honestly, that would be better than what we got.
Yeah. And then Travis Scott wasn't there during the John Cena segment.
Yeah.
So the guy who ultimately helped him out, I don't know. And then The Rock wasn't there either. But like,
I mean,
I guess that was implied.
The Rock not being as a whole kettle, it's a whole wormhole to go into. Like about
John Cena sold his soul for The Rock, and then The Rock just decided to leave.
Yeah, the fact that they even had like Rock shirts on sale at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he wasn't there.
The Rock has come back to Las Vegas, and he's not there. Those poor people, man.
So where is he? Is he in some sort of bookstore somewhere nearby, selling the book? Like...
Is The Rock in this room with us? No, he is not. Oh, there he is. Where were you last night?
Answer for your crimes against the pro wrestling fan base.
Sorry, I had to work on the second Black Adam movie. It's going to be a real hit.
Have you seen?
People are going to remember that over Mania.
Have you watched Mania 2 yet?
Honestly, yes, I have with my family, and the first one was iconic.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure was.
But no. To your point about Cena not deliberately not wrestling well, and fans liking it because it's John Cena. Yeah, I agree. I like the gimmick, but at the same time, that shouldn't be affecting the quality of matches you put on, because that actively ruins your product. Because, Cody last year at WrestleMania XL, he went through hell and back to beat Roman. Like, we had Solo, we had not Taker, we had The Rock, sorry. We had a Taker as well, who came out after to help Cody. We had Cena, who came out to help Cody. It's so much happened there. Spears, some man punches. I think even Roman hit a crossroads of his own on Cody at the time as well. And it's just,
I think so.
All of that for Cody to win. And you fast forward a year later to Cena v Cody, and all it took was one title shot to the face to take out Cody.
Yep. And a Travis Scott rundown.
Yes.
The rapper who's probably like my size just decided like, I'd like to imagine nobody told him to do that. He just, can I come out? Can I
play the music and just
yeah. I play the music and I hear everyone playing my song. It's just like, Travis, we've been hearing it all weekend.
Legitimately, it's on everything. It's on the shows, it's on the YouTube videos. Like, you can watch a video from WWE Raw or SmackDown or even NXT, and you watch something that has nothing to do with Travis Scott whatsoever, or John Cena or Cody Rhodes, and at the end of the video it's like Fiend.
Yeah, that end card with like the video previews on there. Yes. Yeah. Great job, WWE. Just fantastic.
Yeah, I mean the song's in my head, so I'll give that to them. But I don't want to buy it.
No, I still don't. I mean, every time I see Travis Scott on screen, I just want to listen to it less. But here he is forcing me to hear it. So.
Here he is, just laying a full-on, non-worked punch to Cody's eye.
And then Cody didn't even get his like, I was hoping to God Cody potatoed him at Mania, and he didn't.
I mean, he gave him a crossroads. It's not the same.
He gave him a
but-
crossroad. Yeah.
which Travis didn't really sell properly either, because he landed on his front and then immediately turned on his back.
Yeah. Oh, I have to get out of the ring because of this next spot, so I have to get out, you know? And then I'm going to celebrate with Cena with the title over my shoulder and not sell the Impact, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, it does seem that we've got Cena and Norton. That is really the plan for Backlash, it seems. And we'll see Travis Scott there probably as well, and it'll probably cost Orton in some way or something.
Will that lead to Travis Scott versus Randy Orton? No, it won't.
But should it? Yes.
No. Oh.
I mean, no.
Dude, Travis. If SummerSlam is literally like Travis Randy Orton, I might just not.
Yeah.
I mean, because I don't think we're getting Cody versus Travis Scott either.
I think. I mean, we can get into it, but I think we're getting a Cody heel turn, like at some point in the near future.
Yeah, people have been saying that, but like Cena's the biggest heel, so I think we should just wait.
Oh yeah.
Until Cena leaves. Yeah.
I think the issue is Cody's not the biggest face anymore, and he, even as champion, he never truly was.
So then, who would you argue? Like,
it's probably Punk.
Seth,
or it's Punk, or it's Jay. And as much as I hate to say it, it could be Jay.
Jay. You know, we were talking about him before the show. We were talking about him before he started the show. I completely forgot about Jay in a few minutes.
Like it's a really weird.
You're right, though. You're right.
It's because like I don't know. Anyway, after this, we go into a recap of what happened at Mania 41 with Bayley getting taken out during the pre-show, and Lyra Valkyria having to find a tag partner to replace Bayley, which he did in the form of a returning Becky Lynch. Also, Lyra and Becky won tag titles, women's tag titles from Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. But tonight is the rematch, which leads to the entrance of Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Liv welcomes us to Monday Night Morgan, praises Dominic for winning the men's IC title, and also says that things haven't been going their way in the last couple of days, besides Dominic's win. Getting blamed for the attack on Bayley, which they didn't do, and then they didn't have time to prepare for Lyra's mystery partner, who was the woman she retired, Becky Lynch. Raquel does a promo in Spanish in which she says that they're going to win the tag titles again and then leave Vegas to Garbage City with the titles. Liv then says that when they win, they'll become the first and only 4-time women tag champions, which makes them the greatest women's tag champions of all time.
I mean, no. But, you know, heel work.
If you're going off
I'll buy it.
Stats alone, technically she's not wrong on stats alone.
I mean, yeah. I guess she defended the women's tag titles at WrestleMania. Not many people can say that.
Yeah, true. Very true. But this promo does lead into the first match of the night, which is for the women's tag team championships. We have Judgment Day, the the challengers. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez taking on the champions, Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch. Now, who win here? Of course, you know, it's day one of a defense, of a reign even. So obviously, the new champs are going to retain, right?
You'd think.
Well, you'd think wrong, because Liv and Raquel win, following an oblivion on Lyra. I rated it 3.5 stars. I really liked the match. It had plenty of back and forth. It was never really clear who was going to come out on top of this one, because I personally had Becky and Lyra retaining. The titles realistically should be on an actual tag team, like Liv and Raquel, opposed to them being on a Franken team, like Becky and Lyra. Even though they've got history, Becky and Lyra, with Becky being Lyra's mentor and all, they're not a tag team.
It was just a big moment for Becky to come back. They weren't an official. I mean, to be fair, Bayley and Lyra only formed like the SmackDown before. So
Exactly, yeah. I've been in the same boat still. Like, I still be living Raquel, which should be champions here over Bailey and Lyra.
yeah, should I give a star rating, or are you only doing the ratings?
I leave that to your choice. You can if you want, or not if you don't want to.
All right. I didn't even think about giving a match a star rating. You gave it 3.5. I guess by comparison, I'll just give it a 3, just because the crowd only really perked up for like the final few near falls, where it was like, oh, the manhandle slam. Uh-oh, they broke up the pinfall. Does that mean they're not winning? And then they didn't, and everyone's like, oh, okay. It just makes like, I don't know. I don't want to say it overshadowed WrestleMania, the match, but like Becky made her return at Mania. It was a big moment for Mania, but we're just gonna erase that and put the titles back on the champions.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
I don't know. It just, again, it feels like something that I discuss quite a lot with various people on NXT reviews, that WWE tend to do these things for the buzz of the moment.
Yep.
And then after that, they sort of be like, oh, you know what? Actually, we should have done that. Let's go ahead and just revert that quickly back.
They love being viral. They love viral, individual viral moments. Everyone remembers the RKO on Cena. No one remembers the 20-minute promo he cut beforehand. And that's just how they operate.
Yeah, absolutely. I won't lie. The line from Cena about saying, you say I can't wrestle, so I won't. That I quite like that a lot.
It makes sense, I guess, for his heel character. I just see wrestling though. I would really like to see please, give me a wrestling match.
No, instead you get Travis Scott.
You're getting rest holds and Travis Scott. Thanks, Cena. You're the best.
Whoa, WrestleMania 41 was amazing. After that,
WrestleMania, baby, woo!
After that, Liv and Raquel leave. Full-time champions, great stuff. Leave Becky in the ring with Lyra. Lyra is disorientated because she took the Oblivion, and actually spiked her head on the Oblivion as well.
It was a great stuff.
So Becky consoles Lyra for all about 5 seconds before laying her out. Lyra's in shock and doesn't know how to react, as Becky is just shouting abuse at Lyra. Becky then leaves, and then she don't, and keeps laying and punches into Lyra, and then leaves until she doesn't, and hits Lyra with 2 manhandle slams, and then leaves until she doesn't, and comes back with another manhandle slam. And the crowd at this point are losing their minds. They love this shit.
The crowd's getting what they want, like, please come back, or no, one more time. And then Becky's just like, okay.
Yeah. Do you remember, not to compare it to this, but when Seth Rollins feuded with Bronson Reed?
Yeah.
And he did I think that's 7 tsunamis on Seth?
7 tsunamis just because the crowd kept going rabid every time he did one.
Yeah.
One more time, and Bronson's like,
okay.
Yeah. You want me to kill your hero? Sure.
We are all sickos in heart.
Oh yeah, professional wrestling is for the sickos.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm still here, and I didn't give up in the
as a famous
Twilight Zone
billionaire scholar once said. It's
You're gonna enjoy the ride the Rock's taking you on.
So yeah, I quite like this all. It makes sense, I guess, now as to why Becky's back, and I guess she attacked Bailey.
That's true. We don't know who attacked Bailey yet, so
I don't know entirely, but
so might lead to Becky versus Bailey.
Yeah. What did you think of the Becky turn, I guess?
Yeah, the Becky turn. I guess because for a while people have been calling her Becky Hogan just because for a period of time she wins a lot of matches, and then I don't know, just because she's a face, she doesn't suffer consequences for her losses. So maybe now that she's a heel, she'll treat her losses with heart and not just, well, I lost the tag titles with Lyra. moving on to the next feud. And good on Lyra for I guess being a good soldier throughout all this, because not only did your tag team partner get obliterated, but now your other tag team partner, who everyone's going to focus on, not you, for Mania weekend, and then you lose the tag titles 24 hours later, and then that partner who everyone loves just kicks your ass. I don't know. Poor Lyra. I feel bad. So bad for.
The worst part is, as well, is that I feel like this is going to lead to a match for the women's IC title, and I think Becky will win.
Yeah, just because Grand Slam champion, because that's what WWE care. WWE cares so much about the Grand Slam champion stat. They made The Miz a 2-time Grand Slam champion, and they will not shut up about it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. So they're probably going to have Becky be the first Grand Slam.
Yeah. Yeah. Becky Hogan.
Literally, dude. That's how it is.
That is how it is. It's a shame, because Becky is quite likable. It's just,
Oh, she's really good in the ring, and her non-cringy promo work back in the Man era was great. It's just that I guess she became a parody of herself with the whole like that gigantic CGI head during her entrance in like the early 2020s, and then like dressing up like Seth Rollins with like the gigantic furry coat. It's just like, who is this? This isn't Becky. This isn't the Becky Lynch that like we've been accustomed to knowing. This is just her messing around.
I think this all started, I think it was SummerSlam 2 years ago. I think it was with Bianca.
Yeah.
When Becky came out, I was like, "Oh, you're so great," and then Bianca was like, "I want to fight you, Becky, right now." And then Becky's like, "Okay," and I win in like 10 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, 2021. I remember.
Oh, 2021 was it? Oh, fair enough.
The pandemic.
4 years ago.
And yeah, she came back from having a kid. Hi, Becky. Welcome back. Oh, the champion very quickly. Okay. It did eventually lead to Becky versus. It did eventually lead to Becky versus Bianca. Mania. I think it was Mania 38. But, programming of kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm cutting out.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I'm not sure what the issue is, to be honest. It's just something that unfortunately people have to deal with.
I guess so.
So after this, American Made it here. Chad Gable and Co. are here to discuss Mania 41. Chad wants to acknowledge the great performance of El Grande Americano and reprimand Rey Mysterio for faking an injury to avoid El Grande Americano. El Grande is currently on his victory tour, but Chad has it on good authority that he'll be back very soon. And that's it.
Yep. The whole I like the gimmick. It's just that please don't sink your teeth that much into it. You know what I mean? Like, edging the line of races kind of sucks.
Yeah. Put it in simple terms, a white man pretending to be an Hispanic man is...
Yeah. It's just not... I mean, Chad Gable will wrestle circles around anybody. He's an unbelievable wrestler. So, credit to him for doing well with it. But, I don't know, maybe I just have to trust the process. Trust the process, Yeah. That's what they all say. Trust the process. Enjoy the ride the Rock's taking you on.
Everything is the Rock.
Everything is the Rock's fault. Genuinely, it could be.
Yeah,
he's the chairman of TKO.
TKO.
That's what it is.
Yeah. He just Rock is the CEO. Just CEO. So after this, we are joined by the New Day. They are, of course, the new men's WWE Tag Team Champions after beating the War Raiders at WrestleMania. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Kofi says that there is no team alive or dead that are better than the New Day. They beat the War Raiders when no one said they could. They're then cut off by Alpha Academy, fronted by Maxine Dupree, who reminds us that Otis and Tozawa beat them in 6 seconds and demanded a tag title match tonight. And then a comment from her about them being Minutemen results in a tag title match being agreed to. And then things are getting set up when the lights go out. And when they come back on, we hear unfamiliar music. But we see a familiar face on the screens. It's Rusev Puchlia. Rusev Pachka. Of course, not without Styles, unfortunately, but it's a fucking shame. Like that song kept us in the room entirely, straight away.
Yeah, they def reveled him.
Oh, not fully, admittedly, because otherwise it'd be like Rusev.
My name is Rusev. Like,
but yeah, the chosen one is back. He gets in the ring, and New Day run away. Rusev is here to save the day until he doesn't, and attacks Otis. Tozawa tries to get back, but he's caught by a fall-away slam, leaving an angry Otis in the ring and a redemptive Rusev. Rusev then proceeds to lock in the accolade on Otis, who don't tap out, but the damage has been done. And Rusev is pulled off of Otis. And then that's pretty much the end of that. But he's back. Rusev is back in WWE.
yeah, I'm glad to see him back. You know. Should we just talk about it? Like the return itself felt very weird, just because it was in the middle of what was gonna be a tag match, and then and like I was talking about this too with the chat I was watching. Cena starts the show newly heel guy. Becky then turns heel on Lyra. Rusev returns, turns heel on Alpha Cat. What's going on?
You know, it's famously what someone once said: "You will enjoy the ride that they're taking you on."
I have heard that once or twice.
Yeah.
The guy keeps singing about how I'm welcome for something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, something like that. Something about a red notice too.
The golden egg.
My throat. We are back now. We're backstage with Judgment Day. They're celebrating Dom's title win and also Liv Raquel's reacquiring of the women's tag belts when Finn Balor appears. Tensions rise. Finn stares daggers into Dom, and Liv tries to play peacekeeper. That's Cena's role. Finn says what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. He gives congrats to Dom and says he'll be out there later tonight. Carlito is still in rib pain thanks to Braun Breaker.
Yep. Casual Judgment Day segment.
Yeah.
I'm glad Finn didn't turn on Dom, even though that's what they've been building up.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, they've already had like 3 heel turns a show. Like, they can't have any more.
God forbid they have another one.
Yeah. So after this, we go back to the ring. It's Io Sky. Io Sky is here to celebrate her retention of the Women's Championship against both Ripley and Bianca. She's over the moon, and her beating 2 of the best means that she's now the best. She says that Rhea and Bianca both tried to forget her, and now nobody will forget her. She is the genius of the sky. She is Io Sky, and she is the Women's World Champion, and she holds aloft her title belt. And at this moment, it's like, fucking finally, she gets her recognition.
Oh yeah.
Because the whole story before this was Bianca and Rhea didn't take her seriously.
Mm-hmm. And she literally them standing off, and then she's in the background.
Yeah.
Or no, where the camera's facing. Them facing off, she's in the background.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very happy. I'm happy that she's happy.
Absolutely. And I will admit I thought Bianca was gonna win at Mania.
I was so scared of that too.
I thought it was
either her or Rhea.
Yeah. I mean, Rhea I wouldn't mind too much. It's just Bianca, I think, needs a bit more development. Personally, not in wrestling, but I mean just her character.
Thank God someone agrees, because I've talked with a lot of people who love Bianca Belair, and they have to try and convince me that she's the best thing since sliced bread, and
She's
I
very talented in ring. I'll never deny
oh
that.
God, yeah.
Yeah, but
She's had some absolutely great matches with Becky,
with
Sasha.
herself.
Yeah, it's just that, like, her gimmick of I'm the baddest bitch. We've seen that before.
Yeah.
We've seen it so many times.
I am the
I don't know.
bestest. I am the fastest. I am the speediest. Like,
Yeah,
it's such a heel gimmick. A heel.
I know.
Like, I am the best. Like, you're saying it with a straight face. Like, you're saying it
No.
with an almost cocky grin. Like,
Yeah,
you're not a face.
I will never forgive her for killing Bailey multiple times during the pandemic. Every pay-per-view match, her versus Bailey.
Yeah.
And she just kicked Bailey's ass every time.
Yeah.
I was so sad.
Maybe it was her who attacked Bailey at WrestleMania.
Maybe. Or it was her who attacked Jade, her who attacked whoever.
I mean, I still think
We never know.
I still think it was more than just Naomi who attacked Jade.
Yeah. It has to be, right? Like, classic
like,
long-term booking.
Yeah, I feel like not having her win a title at Mania as well sort of confirms that Bianca was involved, because the progression now for Jade would be to move on to Bianca.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the SummerSlam match.
Yeah. Like, at some point, Naomi reveals that it weren't just her, like, screwing over Bianca in the process. And
yeah, it'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Absolutely. Anyway. Then we hear some music that would be familiar if you're watching NXT. Because coming out to confront Io is none other than the NXT Women's World Champion, Stephanie Vaquer. I'm like, fucking hell.
Yeah, like, someone who watches NXT a lot, I was so curious to hear what you think about that.
I love Vaquer. Like, she is a fantastic wrestler. So is Io Sky. And I'm like, if this leads to a match between the two of them, like, it's fucking hell. But obviously my brain's thinking like WWE. Like, it's some sort of tag match, yada yada. So Stephanie congratulates Io and introduces herself as La Primera, and she's out there to show Io respect. But she's here today, and she is the best. And says that she wants to fight the best. She wants to fight Io. I'm like, yes. Io accepts the challenge and proposes the fight happen right here, right now, to a chorus of cheers and applause, and one guy in the UK going, "Fucking yeah!" At this moment, out comes Adam Pearce to a chorus of boos, because Suit comes out, Authority Figure comes out. He's here to prevent the match, isn't he? Because of some sort of NXT WWE ruling, or some sort of, we can't do it right now because we've got a match between Tozawa and R-Truth planned. Like,
knowing Raw, that makes sense.
Yeah. But no, he is not here to cancel the match, because he also wants to see the match. He's a sicko like the rest of us. And he makes it official for right here, right now. So, with that in mind, we go into the second match of the night. Io Sky, Stephanie Vaquer, non-title. Just a straight old singles match. And the match ends via DQ. When Roxanne Perez jumps Io. And I thought, you know what, I'm fine with that. You wouldn't want to, have Vaquer or Io pinned here. So
I'm fine with it, only if it's a call-up. Like, Can we please have Roxanne on roster full-time?
Mm-hmm.
Because she was there leading up to Mania, and then she just wasn't anymore. I don't know.
You will enjoy the ride The Rock's giving you.
You will enjoy the ride The Rock's abandoned you on.
So, the match itself, I rated it 4 stars. barring the ending, which typically I'm not a fan of, but I don't mind it here because it made sense. It was a very good match between two of the absolute best in the women's division in WWE. They got like 14, 15 minutes as well, which is insane. Like on NXT, we're used to getting like maybe 10 if we're lucky. Like
Yeah. I mean, Raw is 3 hours. You have the time.
that is very true. Yeah. But the match itself was mainly a vehicle to give WWE audiences a look at Stephanie Vicaire and see what she can do. Some people may not like the way it ended, but as I said already, it wouldn't have benefited anyone to have Io or Vicaire get pinned here, both being current world champions too. Roxanne coming in to attack Io was to annoy Vicaire and promote the fact that she's fighting Vicaire on NXT the next night, the Tuesday. Which, by the time you see this video, you would have
Already happened.
Yeah, it's already happened, and I think this video comes out before Show Squared will, and then that'll be when I cover Roxanne and Vicaire one-on-one.
Got to plug in. Got to get that plug.
Exactly. Post-match.
You're natural.
I was not post-match, sorry. No. What did you think, of the match and the conversation before it?
I really liked the promo beforehand because, like, they were able to... I mean, like, their English is definitely getting better. And they were able, like, two non-Native American... two non-English native speakers going out there cutting a promo. Like, when's the last time that's happened in WWE?
Absolutely.
And so I was very proud of them. And I just enjoy the simple prospect of, like, this person's really good, this person's really good. Let's see who's better in between us. And I guess the one thing I didn't like was, like, we're going to have the match, crowd pops, and then Adam Pearce comes out and be like, no. All right, fine, go ahead. No, I'm going to steal your pop for the match announcement. It's like, okay, man, great. But the match itself was really great. I did enjoy it. It makes me want to see Stephanie on the main roster now.
No,
even though
no, you don't want that. No, do not.
Just because she'll have great matches with all of the main event people, but obviously not yet.
Okay.
She's still rocking it, and we need to give Booker T his dues somehow. We need to make Booker somehow. We need to make Booker happy somehow. So she's staying in NXT because of that one move she does. Yeah. I don't know what it's called. But the crowd
either, and I don't really like the comments that Booker T makes about it either, to be honest.
It's very weird. He's just a horny old man, and I don't like it.
No, he shouldn't be on commentary if he's gonna do stuff like that.
Thank God you agree, man. Dude, I didn't like Booker T like when I started watching wrestling in 2012 and he was on SmackDown. I was like, get this guy off of... I was a kid watching in 2012 and I was like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
No, and that's the thing, like, when you have, like, character commentators and they don't add much to the actual thing. Like, I know he's a legend in the business and all that, but Jerry Lawler is a prime example of not adding anything to commentary.
Yeah. The only time he worked was with JR, and that was because JR called the match as it was, and Jerry Dick wrote all the heels in a way that wasn't really annoying until all the women came out, and then he was... Yeah. I guess I'd argue Booker being the same way if I watched NXT more.
Yeah. I mean, he's like that every week, with especially Vicaire.
Yeah. But the crowd seemed to love her doing that move and whatever they were doing.
I mean, the crowd is one thing, because you can't really hear them going, or doing the noises that Booker T's doing.
Yeah. They have to watch the show on a replay and then listen to Booker's insufferable commentary in order to get the joke.
Yeah. If anything, it was a pleasant change of pace to not hear Booker T making the noises tonight on Raw. on this night, on Raw.
Instead, it was Pat McAfee, which is not really that much of a upgrade.
No, but to me, Pat McAfee's like a child. So to me, it's not as incriminating.
Yeah, he was good for a bit, man. I don't get it.
Neither do I.
But
Neither do I. But
so despite commentary or not commentary, um, WWE did put on Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer, so I can't complain.
no, and it goes to show you as well. Like there are matches in the future that can happen, like in a year from now or 2 years from now, whatever, and
Yep.
these will be absolute show stealers.
Oh yeah.
Like we've seen Bianca Belair in so many matches, even like before, like she was even when she was in NXT, like having fantastic matches. Like these are matches that are going to be shaping the future of the company, and Vaquer, even though she has the barrier of the language, she's getting better at it. Io Sky is there already. Like she has still the break, but that's natural. Like everything is coming upwards, and it's amazing because down the line we're going to have Vaquer as part of the main roster. We're going to have Roxanne part of the main roster. We're going to have other people that are involved here in the main roster at some point. Like,
Yep. Oh yeah.
but also as well, I want to as well put on the point that it's a complete contrast, this match alone, to the entire Mania program. That
I know, right?
with Bianca and Rhea. It was like before this, it was like Rhea was champion and loses to Io, and then Rhea was like, I've got to beat Io because I've never beaten her in my career, and then proceeds to lose to Io again, and then Io's champion, and then it's still like, okay, but Rhea wants to fight Bianca, not Io, and then
Yeah.
and then Bianca's like, I want to fight Rhea, not Io for the title, but Io's champion, so that's not how it works. And then, that's just already. You got the whole like these two here, and then Io back there, and then like the whole picture of that. And then tonight on this show, I mean, Vaquer comes out. It's like, Io, I want to face you.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Like,
I guess it's just like night after Mania, or not curse, but like everyone has to move on to something. So, why not have this for Io?
no,
And I guess
I agree. Like,
to our points earlier, like Bianca's probably going to move on to Jade.
Yeah, I hope so. That is the natural progression. Otherwise,
yeah,
I don't know where Bianca can go from this.
Yeah, exactly. And that just has to come with the whole like, well, Rhea had this whole thing with Bianca, but we kind of can't have that right now because we have to move our separate ways.
Absolutely. But so after the match, post-match, Vaquer and Roxanne have a stare down, which is added to when Julia appears and attacks Vaquer. She and Roxanne grin at each other and attack the two in the ring. This is then broken up by Rhea Ripley, who makes a save. Rhea then tells Io she wants the title.
Surprise, surprise.
Basic stuff, but getting Julia involved as well is a great move because Vaquer and Julia are the two biggest names in the women's roster in NXT. So having these two be exposed to a main roster audience, like getting eyes on them as well to get used to them, because this is essentially them saying, get used to these two because they'll be here regularly, in a year from now.
Oh yeah. Getting eyes on NXT too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because if NXT can produce these main talents, like an Io Sky who came from NXT, like a Roxanne Perez who came from NXT, like a Stephanie Vaquer who's currently in NXT.
Yep.
There's so many wrestlers on the main roster now that came from NXT. Like Rhea Ripley is another one. So is Bianca Belair.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, I think it's nearly everyone actually on the women's roster who's in a main event spot, other than maybe like a Jade Cargill, like who has come from NXT in some degree.
Yeah, I can't really think of anyone else.
Like maybe maybe like Natalia, maybe.
If she's still, she is still active. She was in that GCW show, I think.
Yeah, Bloodsport.
Yes, Bloodsport. I can't really think of anyone else currently active who didn't come from NXT. I guess I'd have to try hard to think of names.
But it just show you like the number of audience who watch Raw probably should watch NXT because NXT produces the stars that you watch on Raw and SmackDown.
I'm one of those people because I fell off of NXT a while ago with the whole 2.0 stuff.
Yeah, 2.0 is a rough period of time to get through.
Yeah.
Well,
I
obviously,
just wish I had the time to mainly watch the pay-per-views, I guess. But also, WWE will be like, hey, Stand and Deliver is happening 1 in the afternoon, American time. It's just, I have stuff to do, man. I can't do that.
Yeah, no, I fully get that as well. Like for us, I think it was a 6 p.m. as well, which is like also not a good time to watch wrestling for us.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, like adhere to my schedule, not not your own.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys got your like during Mania week, the weeks leading up to Mania and the international stuff.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you guys got that.
Yeah.
Even though the Americans had to suffer with like it starts at 3 in the afternoon. I have classes. I can't watch.
I mean, it was good, absolutely. I think the main highlight is that Cena's first heel promo was in Belgium, following Chamber.
Yeah.
Which I thought was insane, because I assume that was just an American thing that they have. Like, just, you know, this is quite a monumental moment, like the first Cena heel promo in, like, probably like 20 years. Like...
Oh, yeah. It's like, wrestling's just been so surreal.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the casual people who are getting back into it because of Mania and the Royal Rumble, they're like, oh, is this what wrestling is all the time? Not really. It's such a weird period in time.
Absolutely. It's like specifically, these 4 days are really cool. And then the rest of the year, it's alright.
The rest of the year, you're going to get John Cena versus Randy Orton.
With Travis Scott as the referee.
Yeah.
But instead
of
instead of hitting the mat, he hits Cody in the face for the count.
1, 2, 3.
But wait, no, he kicked out. He's 4, 5, 6. Throwing so much shade at Travis Scott for no reason.
Every referee count. 1, 2. Travis, they're outside the ring over there. Yeah, give me a second. I just hope Cody kills him. Not kills him.
Yeah.
Potatoes him.
Yeah, like kills him in a video game. Sort of like.
Yeah. He throws him off the cell and through a flaming table and
just
all that.
Recreate Money in the Bank during the COVID times. Just throw chairs on the roof of the building.
Have Baron Corbin murder Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black.
And
then they wrestle on Raw the next night and they're fine.
Yeah. Or like, you know, when Rey's eye grew back after getting gouged out.
Oh my god, I forgot about that whole thing. He's had surgery 5 times at his left knee.
You mean his left eye?
Now he's having surgery. Now he's having surgery 6 times at his left eye.
Oh, speaking of surgical things that need to be done, here comes Jey Uso. Jey Uso is here, the new men's WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Let's see what he wants. Maybe he can go 10 words in a promo about saying yeet. Let's find out.
All right, what do you want, buddy?
He's here. He's here now. He wanted this. Yeet. Great. Since he was a kid, he gave Gunther all he got, and he beat Gunther. He made Gunther tap. Yeet. He says he will show up every week and put in the work he's always been putting in, and that people are excited to see Jey Uso as the World Heavyweight Champion. Yeet. Thank you.
That's as much effort as I'm going to give for this.
That is valid, honestly. I am firmly in the camp if he shouldn't be a champion, or at least I want to be right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sami Zayn is here. Sami says that he feels bad that he was not there for Jay in the past 2 months. And not there to support Jay through all the stuff with Gunther. He admits that it's been hard on himself to even go to Vegas, but he wanted to be out there and be the first person to stand in the ring and celebrate Jay's title victory. He says, like everyone who says that you didn't deserve it are wrong because you do deserve it. And I'm like, no, that's not true.
Like, Sammy, we like you. Please don't side with him.
Yeah. And then, to be fair,
I know he's your boy, but
like during their all like celebration stuff, there's a few moments where Sammy's just standing there while Jay is celebrating, and I'm like, is he gonna turn?
I genuinely thought just because like Becky turned, Rusev turned, might as well complete the trifecta.
Yeah, the new faction: Becky, Rusev, Sammy.
We're gonna call it 2018.
We call it Rusev Becky Sammy Day. It's
the mid card day.
It's a work in progress.
Much like WWE's creative processing.
Way. But no, I thought I was going to turn at some point, but he didn't. It genuinely just didn't come. So they eat with the crowd, and then here comes Jimmy Uso. Jimmy, with his solo Uso song, where he says that his family is in the past. He comes out, and he's here to cause no issues or no problems, because he comes out, does the three-way hand slap thing with Sammy and Jay, and continues celebrating. Then the three of them just yeets, while the wide camera shots, the crowd's doing this. Like the fucking Nintendo Wii characters.
It's you triggering a taunt in 2K, and all the crowd's like not in sync completely.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
But yeah, they just kept going.
Yep. And it was
and that made me think.
Yeah.
That made me think that someone was going to turn, because they just kept going.
Yeah.
Like, is Sammy going to turn? No, he didn't. Oh, is Jimmy's coming out? No, he don't. So I'm waiting for something that's not. But that's also my fault. That I'm waiting for something to happen that doesn't happen.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that. I think we, as wrestling fans, especially as hardcore wrestling fans, like, we've seen so many heel turns over the years, over the decades, and it's just, you think in your head, you can see when it's going to happen. Like, who it's going to be, what they're going to do. And then it don't happen. And you're like, oh, okay then.
Yeah. It's just the expectation I have in my head, but I expect a lot from a world champion who's going to carry the company.
Yeah.
And all he does is a super kick, Samoan drop, another super kick,
and a splash,
a spear.
The five.
Not a good
doom.
one. I was going to say not a good one. Back to 4. But
the 4 moves of doom.
Yeah, that is true. Like, I wish I could get behind him.
I don't.
It's hard to. I don't. Yeah.
It's very hard to, as a real wrestling fan, because I'm more on Cena's side than I am on Jay's. Like, even though I hate what Cena's doing in the ring, like, I appreciate more what he does than what Jay does.
Yeah. It's just, funny Yeet Man is saying his catchphrase, so people are going to love it.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, Austin had the what chant, and that was all he had, the what, right? But he was a good wrestler still.
Yeah.
Like,
even when he was a heel, he put in great matches.
He didn't shy away from what he was. He was a brawler, a scrapper. That's part of why we liked him, because it was so sort of like rough around the edges. Like, Yeah, so what? So what? He has the what? Like that's fine. It's fine because he himself is not he's not a fully fledged face. Like
Yeah,
he's a tough sob redneck. Like like
yeah. But like, Jay Jay's still wrestling like he's in 2013 still. It's just the same. I mean, suicide dives, super kicks, splashes. I just wish there was more, you know. Meanwhile, he's going against Gunther, who like could do these moves in his sleep, and he has so many moves in his repertoire. It's insane.
yeah, absolutely. I don't really know where they're going with Jey Uso. I'm hoping or praying might be the more accurate word that it's not a long reign as champion.
People have been saying possibly Braun Breaker would be his next opponent because Braun lost the title at Mania. So
That makes
moving
sense.
from IC to World, but
Yeah.
and then I heard some people saying Logan Paul, and then I turned off Twitter.
You know, I often think back to the Kofi Mania segments, especially with Jey Uso, because you know Kofi's rise was that he was a tag team player. He was a tag team wrestler that broke out of that shell to be a singles guy and ultimately win the world title. And this feels like with Jey Uso. I mean, this feels like a weak copy of that. And Kofi Mania was a weak copy of Brian Mania, so Yes Mania. So it just feels like we're redoing the same thing over and over again. Like in 4 or 5 years from now, we'll have someone else who is probably a tag team wrestler, like a Nathan Frazier, or for example, like from Axiom.
Montez Ford.
Montez Ford, there you go, perfect example. Yeah, someone like Montez Ford who is going to break out and be a solo guy and win the world title a year from that point on. Like it's just you can sort of see it coming, and Jey Uso, like Kofi at the time as well, is nothing more than a B plus player.
I hate to say it, for someone who's been employed for over 15 years now.
Yeah,
It's just do something else.
like legitimately, like, and I don't want to go into conspiracy theories and stuff like that, but it really does begin to feel like if you are related to The Rock in some way, shape, or form, you will get pushed.
Is that why Ava's the NXT
I
GM?
mean, I would assume
I
so.
think.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna push anything like that, but it just seems that way because I can't, like, personally I can't see what others see in Jey Uso, and I've watched wrestling for probably like since I was a kid, like a little like toddler, like I'm 27 now. I My first memory of wrestling is 2002. Like
That is long ago.
I was like 5-ish. So it's just I've watched wrestling for such a long time. I've had various opinions over the years. I've had various favorites throughout the years. I have my diehard favorites nowadays. Um, it's just Jay's not it.
Yeah. Like when you think of previous world champions too, um, like Cena was saying earlier, Steve Austin, Triple H, Bruno Sammartino, Jey Uso. And you could say the same thing about Jinder Mahal, but like people ironically liked him. They pitied him just because like it'd be very funny if he beat Shinsuke Nakamura, and then he did, and everyone's like, haha, that's so funny. But like here's Jey Uso unironically beating Gunther at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm not laughing.
I think we as wrestling fans look at the realistic side of things, and we know the reasons why Jinder was given the title in the first place.
Yeah, the market or whatever,
Yes.
the Indian market.
Yeah, precisely. Even though he's Canadian, but
But never mind.
but it's just do better. You know, like there's much
Yeah.
better people in your roster who haven't been world champion who could do it better. Like
Sami Zayn.
exactly, that's exactly who I was gonna go to. Like Sami Zayn is arguably the best underdog you have, character wise. Like over the stuff you have with Gunter as well for the IC title, like that was so much better than what Gunter's done with Jey Uso here.
Yeah, that's I gotta agree with you there. I mean, and it's not. I don't hate Jay. Of course, I don't.
I do.
Because the Usos, the character is not that great, but the Usos have been awesome for so many years. Their feud with the New Day and all that stuff, and like they were kind of getting somewhere in the lead up to Mania. I don't know if you've seen it, but like when Jay would cut promos about like how how much his family means to him and how much it would mean to them if he beat Gunther for them. He's talking about stories of like visiting whoever in the hospital, and oh no, it was Jimmy because Gunther beat down Jimmy in the lead up to Mania. So he was talking about like, it'd mean the world to him if I kill you for him. And then the crowd is over here going like, "Yeet, shut up."
Like that whole word, that whole like development of that word being a chant has ruined a lot of quote unquote serious promos. Because
yeah, a lot of legitimacy.
Yeah, like if Jay comes out saying stuff like quite serious and quite personal, and the crowd, I was gonna chant him yeet, because it's what they're conditioned to do when Jay is out there.
Yeah, it's literally like the jokester of the friend group just starts getting serious.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, haha, good one, buddy. Like, no. My brother's in the hospital. Stop laughing.
He's in the hospital. Yeet. Like,
Yeet.
it's just...
It's like Austin and the What chant all over again, pretty much.
Yeah. But...
And because it's hot, WWE's not going to let it go.
Yeah.
I don't know if they ever will at this point.
To the point where they make so many ugly shirts that have the word yeet printed across it. Do you want it in blue? Do you want it in yellow? Do you want it in pink? Do you want it in green? Like,
and the sunglasses.
Yeah, sunglasses too. Yeah. Like honestly, like there's a necklace somewhere I'm sure with the word yeet on it in gold. Like
it has to be.
Like it's getting ridiculous. Just the commercialization of the character that is Jey Uso. And
I thought you were going to say of WWE. Like,
I mean, that too.
Yeah, fair enough. Jey Uso is like the proper commercial man for them.
Yeah.
Because he can just say yeet, and everyone will say the line, Bart. Yeet.
Yeah, he says yeet one time. Do make $1 million. Like,
he won the Royal Rumble because he said yeet.
Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah,
it would have been like, no offense. I don't want to just shit on Jay because I do like him. I don't like his character at all. And I would have really rather seen Gunther versus Sammy because it would have been a proper lead up to their previous Mania match where Sammy beat Gunther for the IC title. So
the story here would have been Jay going to Mania. Jimmy got choked out in front of him. Like dripping in blood. Like Gunter's bathing in his blood and all that. And Jay can't beat Gunter. Like the story here is not that he lost twice to Gunter already. The story should be that Jay just can't beat Gunter. Like, how could Sammy do it, but Jay can't? Like, and that should be the story, like psychologically torturing Jay in his own mind. Like, why can't I beat Gunter? No matter what I do, he keeps getting up. No matter what I do, he won't stay down for a 3. You know?
Which is why he tapped him out, I guess.
Yeah. But even, like, doing that straight away just reveals the chink in his armor. In Gunther. Like, he's a massive tank of a man who can't take his mission. Like...
Every time he's in a blood choke, he just can't handle it.
Like, instantly.
He can withstand so many splashes and super kicks, but I don't. I guess the one person who has enjoyed the ride The Rock is taking them on is Jay.
Okay.
He's the one who's been...
I should say The Rock.
Oh. The Rock's the one conducting the ride.
Like, you will enjoy this.
Jay's in the front of the roller coaster. The Rock is conducting, and I guess Travis Scott and Cena are in the middle. Yeah.
Travis Scott is doing the on-flight entertainment.
Yeah.
Everyone's going like fiend. But then Jay's like yeet.
Oh my god. I remember that, like, on the Raw Netflix show where it was Jay and Travis.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the show where Travis came out smoking a blunt in front of kids?
Yeah. The guy who bitch slapped Cody and then hijacked the main event of WrestleMania.
Fucking ridiculous. No, one of these, the video will be just how Travis Scott ruins wrestling. Not John Cena, Travis Scott. Yeah,
Cena's... Cena's gimmick is working. I'm gonna ruin wrestling by bringing in Travis Scott.
He's like,
I get it.
In the future, more rappers.
Yeah. We're gonna see Lil Yachty in the crowd. Well, they are. They, like, in between the matches, they're in the crowd, and they, like, highlight them.
Yeah.
Just don't get in the ring.
Please don't.
Please don't. I just hate celebrities in wrestling, man.
I do too, to be fair. I do too. Speaking of which,
I've hated Logan Paul since day one. Sorry.
Speaking of, following up from this, we've got a post-WrestleMania interview with Logan Paul. Logan's asked if he thinks he was going to win without any involvement of Karrion Kross. Logan completely disregards the question and moves on to ask Kathy Kelly for our next question. Kathy then asks if what is next for Logan. Logan says that he's the future, and the company knows it. True. He'll face anyone who the company is flying up for him. True. He can win anything, and will continue his WrestleMania winning streak. Probably true. I don't like celebrities in wrestling, but I unapologetically like Logan Paul in wrestling.
Look, Logan he's athletic. He's a good wrestler. It's just that WrestleMania spot could have gone to Karrion Kross, and it didn't. It could have gone to, I don't know, name anyone who wasn't on the Mania.
Sami Zayn.
The Mania card. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I just,
Jimmy
like,
Uso.
I don't care how good Bad Bunny is in the main event with Damian Priest. I don't want to see it.
Oh, no,
Leave the wrestling to the wrestler.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I do not care you've been a fan since you were a child. Like, if you're not a wrestler or training to be a wrestler, and I mean like committed to being a wrestler, like, don't get in the ring. Don't have a match. Do not let the company buy you out, or not buy you out, but like book you for matches and stuff. Like, the reason why I like Logan Paul in the wrestling business is because he has a history of being a wrestler at a collegiate level. He's been training to be a wrestler. He's got an athletic background. Everything works to the favor of Logan Paul because of his history. Like, Logan Paul is a natural guy you don't want to like, and that comes naturally because of his background on YouTube and being an influencer. Like, everything, but he's a wrestler. Like, that's the main thing now, is that he's a wrestler who's devoted to being a wrestler.
Look, I remember there was like some interview back then of like Logan saying, oh yeah, I'm a full-time wrestler now. When you're a full-time wrestler, that means you wrestle full-time, not once every few months. Now, granted, Roman Reigns did that too, but at least he takes up 30 minutes of TV time with his whatever promos. You know, I'm sick of seeing Logan. Like, Logan will show up on SmackDown, announce that he's going to wrestle for the um, United States title at Mania, precisely not do that much leading up to Mania, and then he'll beat Randy Orton and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. And it's like, in the lead up to that, you'll see Kevin Owens versus whoever, I don't care. But at least he's there
Yeah.
wrestling. Same thing with Randy Orton, although he can't do it much anymore because of his shoulders. But
See,
Logan is not. That's my point. Logan's just taking a free ride. And that's exactly what Karrion Kross was talking about in that one promo. I don't know if you've seen it.
I think that's probably following this interview.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think with Logan Paul, it's firstly it's not his fault because it's booking, like creative already, like give him the breaks and stuff.
It's The Rock's fault.
Yes, Bo the Rock. But
the ride he's taking us on, after all.
A ride that sometimes features Logan Paul, but most times doesn't.
They'll take Logan Paul out of the attraction every week.
There's
but they'll bring it back in.
There's an element, I think, it's in my own opinion, that if a wrestler's on every week talking or wrestling, I personally get oversaturated, overexposed to these wrestlers because they're on every week, and it's like I don't really care if I see you every week now because you're on every week. I don't really give a shit what you're doing now, and it's Logan Paul who comes around once every so often. Like, I'm one of the few advocates for he who shall not be named. Like when he was Universal Champion for like a year and didn't appear until like once every 3 months or something like that.
I have been a Voldemort hater since day one, man. I could not stand.
Okay.
I could not stand him hogging the title for years and then just not showing up.
See,
and then he beats Roman at Mania.
I love that so much.
Like, come on.
At the time, I wasn't like my anti-WWE phase of my life, so that's kind of the reason why I did love it. Because it was like, this is ruining wrestling. It's like,
so you just want to see the world burn? Is that what it is?
Yeah. And the way he's going, we're going there very quickly.
Yeah, man.
I
was gonna say, is that like the whole wrestling showing up every week and overexposing basically people who show up every week. Is that why you don't like Jey Uso?
I mean, maybe. Honestly, I just don't like most things about him in general.
Right.
Like, I am a firm believer that you can break out from being a tag team wrestler, but there's ways to do it. Like, not the way it was done here with Jey Uso.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want I want wrestlers to show up wrestling on a wrestling program, but WWE isn't. They're an entertainment program now.
I mean, you say that, but Raw almost every week is a 3 or 4 match show over 3 hours.
Yeah. This episode was only 3 matches.
Yeah.
In a 3-hour wrestling show.
That's obviously 3 1-hour matches, right?
Oh, obviously, right?
Yeah. So following that interview, we get another interview with AJ Styles. Following on from that with Logan, AJ Styles is here and he says that he's fine with the loss and that being part of Phenomenal means that you know when to bounce back and you can bounce back whenever you want. However, here comes Karrion Kross, who says that there is no bouncing back from a Logan Paul loss. He says that AJ losing legitimizes Logan. AJ says that he doesn't want to be that person that Karrion wants him to be. Had he taken the brass knuckles at Mania from Karrion and used them to win, it wouldn't have meant anything. He tells Karrion that if he's got an issue, he needs to sort it himself. Just Carrion just grins. He's like, you know what? Maybe I will.
Big pop for Carrion, by the way.
Absolutely. Like it's great to see him getting over now because
Because he's speaking on behalf of wrestling fans.
Yeah.
You know?
Like on the old regime of Who Shot WWE, Carrion was nothing more than just a guy who appeared every so often, had a match for like 2 minutes, and then won or lost, and then that was it.
Got beat by Jeff Hardy.
Oh, and then don't forget the egg timer. That's vital. That egg timer.
That's he put it on the apron when he returned against like Roman Reigns. Didn't do anything with it.
What does it mean?
What will it mean? All foreshadowing.
Hey,
Come back to this moment in 5 years.
Hey, Dwayne, what is the ride that you take us on with that? The egg timer ride. What are we doing with that one?
You'll enjoy the ride Carrion's taking you on.
That ain't me. That's purely your Carrion.
What about this aspect? That's Carrion's fault. I don't book him. Are you kidding me? Who's that?
Who is Carrion Cross? You mean Killer Cross? I know Killer Cross.
Yeah. Dude, that name change is stupid too. Just because you can't have the word killer.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Do you remember when he debuted? Look at that, some weird sort of red Power Ranger.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. He debuted looking like that, and then he lost to Jeff Hardy.
Mm-hmm. On his wasn't it his debut match he lost Jeff Hardy?
I think so. Why?
Yeah, very weird.
What are they doing?
Speaking of what are they doing, here comes A-Town Down Under. They come out, they thank Rusev for taking out Alpha Academy because now there's no real competition. So they're probably the number one contenders because that's how that works, right? No.
Clearly.
Because out come the War Raiders who want revenge on New Day and declare that Raw is war. That was literally it for that part.
Was it like an in-between thing?
So it cut
Or
from AJ's interview to the ring. To that the
they were in the ring.
Not in the ring, they were on the stage.
Okay, because I know like Netflix will sometimes they'll have random people in interviews in between commercials. I don't know why.
Yes, so you can't hear them because you hear the adverts.
Yeah. So like only a percentage will actually see it.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, after that, I'm assuming War Raiders are going to fight New Day again for the titles, I guess.
Sure.
After that, though, we get Gunter. Gunter is here. He hijacks the show to chance of you tapped out. He's not in the ring. He's hanging up by the commentary table. And then we go to ad break. And then we come back from the ad break, and he's just standing there still. And he's shouting at Michael Cole for Cole's comments about Gunter this weekend and tonight. And frankly, his very biased commentary. Gunter pushes Pat away as he's getting in Cole's face and knocks over Pat. He then grabs Cole and puts him in a sleeper hold. This is broken up by Pat after about 3 seconds, who leaps at Gunter. Then in comes various suits and refs, security to break it all up. Then as Pat's friends, who I thought initially were fans, Pat's friends at ringside, who come in to distract the attention to everything, Gunter runs up on Pat and chokes him out with a full body sleeper. And at this moment, I'm just like, fucking get him, yes, like.
Do it for wrestling.
Do it for every single fan who does not like hearing Pat McAfee's voice on the commentary.
Oh yeah. Dude, do you remember what Michael Cole said before Gunther choked him out?
Yeah, it was like, what was it? Well, it wasn't me who tapped out. Like,
yeah, I'm not the one who tapped out. Wow. Okay.
Fucking. I don't know.
It just gave me Triple H vibe. Like, I'm too great for this bit. I don't see myself tapping out.
Yeah.
And then everyone makes fun of him for tapping out.
Yeah, like we'll get more.
That's nice.
We'll get more into that because there's more actually regarding this as well. So Pat is fully knocked out at this point. Fair enough. You know, Gunther is a massive bloke. He's a like a full sleeper on someone who's trained in doing that move will knock you out. And Pat is receiving medical attention from all parties involved, like the suits, the refs, Adam Pearce, etc. While Gunther's being escorted out as well. Following on from this, we go we see a recap of what happened while Joe Tessitore takes up the commentary table. Pat's getting escorted to the doctor's room. Adam Pearce remains with Cole backstage, tells Cole to go home and take the rest of the day off. Cole proceeds to whine about Gunther bullying him and maybe he broke Cole's nose. But Cole refuses to let Gunther prevent him from doing his job. Now, for those who aren't aware, that is called being a martyr. Cole simply needed to get over himself, take some time off, because at the end of the day, he's a commentator. You are literally less than, maybe 2 meters from a wrestling ring? Like, you are right there at the action. Like, you've got to be careful what you say, because what you say could lead to you getting hurt. And that is the way things go, because wrestlers aren't going to like what you have to say all the time. And when you're blatantly, openly biased against someone like Gunther, because you're so high on Jay, you're going to get your due, you know? Like, and that was a very slight sleeper from Gunther.
Reminds me of Kane literally setting Jim on fire.
Yeah.
Like, of course that's going to happen.
There should be repercussions to your statements as a commentator.
Yeah.
Like, if you say someone tapped out or someone is, crap or someone is not as good as someone else, like, you should realistically feel the wrath of that person that you just assaulted. Because that's how wrestling is. It's a combat sport.
Yeah. I'm glad he got a pop when he said that, but not much else.
Yeah. Like, I'm a fan of wrestlers attacking non-wrestlers. Not the fans, mind you, but just, other stuff.
That's when celebrities can get involved. Yeah. Gunther can chop
Travis Scott.
Chop the hell. Yeah. Gunther can powerbomb Travis.
Yeah.
Travis. Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, following that, all Cole's back on commentary with Joe Tessitore now, so no Pat McAfee at least, that's something. For the third and final match of the night, for the Men's Intercontinental Championship, we have deserving champion Dominic Mysterio, along with the Judgment Day, taking on the challenger Penta. Why? I don't know, really.
I did find it funny, like, Michael Cole been through hell. He got choked out, and he's on this whole thing about, like you said, being a martyr. So he wants to call the night. Michael Cole wants to call the rest of the night. And then who comes out right as he returns? Dominic Mysterio. The guy he's been having a hate on this entire time. I was expecting Michael Cole to just be like, start leaving again.
I was pretty expecting Dominic to try and like lunge for Cole. Like,
yeah.
He's seen Gunther do it now, so why can't he do it? That's what I like.
I know, right? I'm finally back to the table. Oh my god, here comes Dominic. All right, Joe, I'm leaving.
That would be really good, actually. But yeah, so Dominic Mysterio versus Penta. Of course, we've seen already that on day one of a title reign, the title can change hands. So obviously Penta will win because that's clearly the theme of tonight's show. That champions do not hold the titles, they just won. So, with that in mind, Dominic wins and retains following a 619 and frog splash following a JD McDonough return interference. I rated the match 3 stars, personally. It was a good match. Solid first defense for Dom in his reign as men's IC champion. The match was more highlighted for me by the Judgment Day tensions with Finn, and of course the return of JD, who cost Penta the match and helped Dominic to retain. Judgment Day are back to full power, it seems, and everyone is benefiting from it. Well, except Finn Balor. But that is something I'm sure we'll see more of in the near future. Overall, everything was good though. The match was good, and the story points being put here were good because Penta's not involved in the story, but the story is, Finn, Dom, and potentially JD.
I'm glad JD's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
that was a violent, sort of jerk of the neck, that he had.
Oh God, yeah. And Michael Cole said he thought he died. It's a little bit exaggeratory, but I'm just glad. I mean, he didn't, someone did point out when I was watching that JD didn't do anything physical technically. He didn't take a bump. So maybe he's not fully cleared yet, but still glad to see him.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it makes sense if he's not back fully because that was quite the the injury he sustained from that.
Oh yeah.
But if he's back and able to move around and stuff and get partially involved in stuff, that's better than nothing.
Yeah. And Dominic and Penta are always going to have a good match, so
yeah, absolutely.
The whole thing just felt pretty organic to me. It's just a shame. I don't know where they're going to go with. I mean, besides Finn, who's going to be Dominic's next challenger?
I don't think that's relevant, to be honest with you. I just think Dom's
okay.
I think he's going to get a few retentions and stuff like that, and then that'll build up to Finn being that person.
Right.
So we might see an Otis in there somewhere, or a I don't know who else is there. An R-Truth.
That's a good question.
Or
El Grande Americano.
El Grande Americano, yeah. Literally. I can see all that happening in the lead up to Finn getting more and more frustrated. And then maybe at SummerSlam we see Dom and Finn.
Yeah, that'd be good. Oh, that was the one thing I forgot to mention during the whole Jey Uso Yeating thing. Who's his next challenger? Because that's what I was waiting for.
I'd assume Seth Rollins. That is, to me, the next logical step.
I guess so. But then, is Seth done with Roman?
I mean, maybe. But
I don't think he's done with Punk.
We will get to
just because
the Seth segment.
Yeah, we'll give. Yeah. But that's what I was looking forward to in the Jay segment. Who was going to interrupt him and challenge him for Backlash? But that didn't happen.
I'm assuming he'll fight Jimmy again, unfortunately, for the title. And maybe Sammy as well.
Because it worked so well the first time, Jay and Jimmy.
Of course, yeah. Famously, as someone said, you'll take the ride and you'll enjoy the ride.
An anonymous baldy with a lot of power.
And a lot of money and a lot of muscle.
Unfortunately, not a lot of Vegas sense, because if he had Vegas sense, he'd be there at Mania.
Yeah, well, he was there in the form of a shirt.
He was there in the form of Travis Scott.
Yeah. In my stead.
Yeah. Imagine one person be, what the hell happened to The Rock?
This has just been the Raw review with constant shade thrown at The Rock and Travis Scott.
Dude, I hate celebrities in wrestling. I don't know what to say.
Oh no, honestly, it's great.
You'll enjoy the ride. The ride the Rock's taking you on.
Absolutely.
Get Travis Scott out of there, man. I don't care if Travis Scott wrestles like Cody at SummerSlam. Go away.
What if we do Travis Scott versus Bad Bunny?
Oh, cinema. Good Lord. That would be Cody's the I was gonna say mixed tag. Cena and Travis versus Cody and Bunny.
Honestly, I could see it happening.
I can see that happening too, and it's scary, man.
So, speaking of scary, up next we have the final segment of the night. It is Seth Rollins with his best friend, wise man, Paul Heyman.
His sugar daddy.
His sugar daddy. That's the best. Yes.
It's the only way I can really describe him now. You owe me a favor. Since I didn't curb stomp you, you owe me a favor. That is not how favors work.
That is not how a functional relationship works.
I'm about to no-show this podcast. You owe me a favor.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right? I'm going to threaten to leave this podcast in the middle of it. Unless you owe me a favor. That's not how favors work.
Yeah.
But whatever.
You know, in fairness,
anyway,
I will do you a favor, and I will advise you to step down for the position that you're in to save your mental health.
Oh my. Anyway, yes, Seth and Paul.
Yes. So
God.
Seth says that he took a wise man from Roman Reigns and a best friend from CM Punk. He is the winner of the main event of WrestleMania. But before he can say anything else, here comes CM Punk. Punk lost a best friend that night, so he makes a break for the ring and attacks the man who took his best friend. And fists are exchanged straight away. Punk gets the upper hand and then turns to Heyman. But Rollins makes the most of the distraction from Heyman to take down Punk with a curb stomp. Then the credits roll. We see the names like Paul Levesque and Lee Fitting, and it's like, end of the show, everyone. No, it's not, because Heyman's got a promo to talk first. Heyman says that the news will be propelling all the way to WrestleMania 42. There's a new reigning, defending, undisputed #1 top star in the industry.
Yeah, nobody's holding a title here, Paul.
Can you defend the top stardom of a company?
No. Or no. I guess Paul's gonna make it. I guess Paul's gonna make it. Just 'cause he's Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Okay. Paul's gonna. I don't get.
Sorry,
It's my mic, man. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. It just reminded me. Are you familiar with SpongeBob SquarePants?
Yeah.
You know when that episode where how to make the K-Patty formula? Like
Yes.
Like the training video, and the guy's like, sounds
Oh,
like a
God.
hoopla, and then it's just like says it again and again, like the way your mic was cutting
Hoopla!
out. Yeah, it reminded me of that.
Sounds like a lot of hoopla.
You would enjoy the void.
You enjoy the hoopla.
Then, after that, so the top star industry is Seth Rollins. Then here comes Roman, who lost his wise man. So using the wisdom of the wise man, he takes out Seth with a spear, and then he hits Heyman with a Superman punch, and Heyman falls, and he falls hard.
Actually takes a bump.
Yeah. Then it seems that Roman's about to spear Heyman when a hooded figure appears from nowhere and spears Reigns. It's revealed. Well, I say revealed. Like you knew who it was straight away. The hooded figure is Bron Breakker. He and Seth have a stare down before Bron goes to spear Rollins, but no. Instead, he spears Punk, who is just behind Rollins. Seth then embraces Bron and tells Bron to finish off Roman, who momentarily does fight back against Bron. But then a full speed run around the ring, into Roman, into the barricade, takes him out. Roman's then brought back into the ring, where Seth makes Roman watch Seth curb stop Punk, and then he curb stops Roman. The three of them, Seth, Bron, and Heyman, stand tall to end this edition of Raw after Mania. What did you think of that segment? Because I personally really liked it.
Pretty nice, honestly. I think this is leading to like another evolution, which is what like Paul being the sort of Ric Flair, Seth being the Triple H, Braun being the Batista, now who's going to be Orton?
Someone young.
Yeah. I don't know who, though, but
Carmelo Hayes?
I do hope so. He's really good.
Mm.
I just hope that, like, it just seems like they're doing this with not a lot of long-term stuff in the wings, which is unfortunately a theme.
Yes.
In WWE.
I think as well we're in that moment of time in the year, like post Mania, where WWE do enter trial season, where they try things, they throw shit at the fan and see what sticks. Like at the wall, sorry, not the fan. So don't be surprised if, say, half a year from now, Braun and Seth don't get along.
Yeah. Well, there was this was also paying off. One random backstage segment where Braun and Paul were together.
Yes.
And why? Why was that? I don't know. Because of tonight, I guess.
Yes.
They were planning tonight this whole time.
Yes. This whole time they're plotting because The Rock said you would enjoy the ride he's taking you on.
Yeah.
Long-term
The Rock
booking.
The Rock recruited Braun Breaker.
And this, if you think back to it, has been plotted since the 1980s. Yeah, when Paul E. Dangerously met Scott Steiner. And Rick Steiner, his father.
Everything's all connected, man.
Everything's all connected. Paul Heyman is Braun Breaker's actual father.
I wouldn't be surprised. That's the way they went at this point.
But no, so yeah, the three of them stand tall to end the show, and that was quite literally the last thing we see, is the three of them standing tall. It seems we've got a new power faction in charge of at least Raw for now. I'm assuming they're going to have someone from SmackDown involved in this, and it ain't just a Raw thing.
Yeah, well, and you say power faction too. These two are definitely not going after the tag titles.
No.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna. Maybe they'll gun for Cena after Randy.
I was going to say pretty deadly.
Oh, I thought you were about to yeet because they're gunning after Jay. No.
No.
But maybe they are. I don't know.
I mean, Jay and Jimmy could be a good tag team to have in there.
Yeah, to fight Seth and Braun.
Yeah, and then I meant to be part of the group.
Right, and I do like the pairing. It's just we're at the phase where nothing really makes sense.
Yes, and like
so
I said,
we're gonna need.
I don't think these two are gonna be around for a long time, being tag team partners or being part of the same group.
Yeah. And also, this is mainly happening so that Roman and Punk can be the unwilling allies.
Yeah. The will they, won't they sort of tension, sort of.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Can they coexist?
So, Backlash, I mean, that's pretty much settled for a tag team match there.
Yeah.
We've got
or potentially Jay's next challenger. I don't know.
I think Seth is the sort of like the head honcho, the main guy of that group. So I think Jay would go through Braun first, to then face Seth at the bigger PLE.
Yeah, that's good. That's the part that's gonna suck. Jay's gonna beat Braun Breaker on a random Raw leading up to Jay and Seth.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Nope.
I just wish Braun would be the world champion.
Yeah, honestly. You know what? Shock.
You
know what? Add some shock factor to it. Yeah, the fucking henchman wins the world title.
Paul Heyman? Oh. I don't know why I thought the henchman meant the manager role.
Like, I know it's not meant to be like one's an underling of the other, but that's the way it comes across because Seth is a big deal in WWE.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker is a future star. Like, he's not a current star.
you're essentially like nerfing. You're putting a glass ceiling over Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Because he's standing next to Seth Rollins.
Yeah, quite literally.
Meanwhile, Evolution worked because Batista didn't have that much wrestling experience.
Mm-hmm. But
that point,
there was never the illusion that Batista and Randy were bigger than Triple H.
Yeah, I mean until they turned on Randy Orton.
Yeah,
but yeah, absolutely.
Like Randy won, the world title, and refused to give a title shot to Triple H. Or refused to give the title to Triple H straight out, I think it was. And then that led to that whole match.
He spit in Triple H's face. I remember that.
Yeah, and then Batista won the Royal Rumble, and said, "Oh, don't worry, Triple H. I won't choose you. I won't choose to face you at Mania. Don't worry, I'll choose the other guy." And then chose Triple H. So, you build to it, absolutely. But the way things are, Braun Breaker, despite being an IC champion, despite being, a great wrestler, despite being a great personality, not personality, but great in-ring person, he is not as high as Seth Rollins in terms of their stature.
No.
So, unless they're going to go for tag belts, you've got to have a clear hierarchy for the time being. And that means Seth is world title and Braun is IC title.
Yeah. And that, I mean, it sucks, but they have to stick with that for a while now, which I don't know. I don't like it. I just wish it was interchangeable with the whole, sure, Seth is the leader, but if Braun challenges for the world title, it's not uncommon.
Mm-hmm. We've seen it already with Finn and Dominic. Finn is not pleased that Dominic is champion because it should be Finn who's champion, not Dominic.
Mm-hmm.
And we could easily build this sort of thing with Seth being, oh, Braun won the world title from Jey Uso. What the hell? That's supposed to be my title.
Yeah. And then they'll lead the Braun versus Seth.
Yeah. But that is a natural progression. And you don't then glass ceiling Braun because Braun is now world champion.
Yeah. And then even if Braun wins the world title in the position he's in now, it's going to immediately lead to, well, Seth's going to take it off.
Mm-hmm.
Which sucks.
It does suck, absolutely. Unfortunately, that is the corner WWE have put themselves in. Because
they're good at putting themselves in corners, man. I'll tell you what.
Mm-hmm. If you need anyone to be certified to put themselves in a corner, you contact WWE. You're certified corner placement specialists.
I didn't know. I guess the ride The Rock is taking us on ends with a dead end. It just leads to a corner, so you're just stuck there. And The Rock's just like, oh, well, that's the end of the ride.
Mania 42. The Rock leaves TKO.
Oh my god, that'd be so hilarious. After all this, The Rock just leaves TKO. Wait, well then why did you do all this stuff?
For the ride.
Did you enjoy the ride?
No. Okay, I'm leaving now.
Well, I did what I could.
There's no helping you lot.
Oh my god. Yeah, WWE is a little silly.
Yeah. But
that's what I take from this Raw.
Mind, we have got, 51 more Raws until the next Mania.
Yay.
Yeah, with that in mind, though, that does unfortunately bring an end to this Raw on Netflix review. As always, I've been Dan, DB I've been joined by the wonderful BJHBowman. Bowman, where can people find you if they want to find you online on social media and stuff?
Oh, Jesus. So my YouTube channel is just BJHBowman. My Twitter is BJH_Bowman because someone took the non-underscore. I don't use Instagram anymore. I don't use Snapchat. So that's pretty much it.
Fair enough.
I am on Blue Sky.
Oh.
BJHBowman. I think it's just BJHBowman and not underscore, but I would have to double check that.
That is absolutely fair. But yeah, everything for Bowman I'll put in the video down below as well, in the description below. So you can go follow him there if you want to do so. Myself, I'm on Twitter at Depreezy, which is just there. And in terms of the podcast as well, we are on everywhere, pretty much. Twitter, HW Show, Facebook, HW Show, Instagram, HW Show, Twitch, HW Show, TikTok, HW Show, and Blue Sky, HW Show.bsky.app. I don't know how that really works, to be honest, with Blue Sky, how those little handles work.
It's like everyone and then at blueskyapp.social.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
It's something like that. But I'm not
please
sure,
support the show. It's a good, if you enjoy wrestling, it is a good show. Take it from me. I am an actual fan.
Thank you. But yeah, that does bring an end to the show review. I've been Dan Deity. I've been joined by wonderful BJHBowman. And as always, just be good people and support wrestling.
All wrestling.
All wrestling. All of it. Every single bit.
Even Travis Scott.
Even Travis. No, we've never gone that far. We'll see you next time. Bye.